Welcome to the Alternative Investor. Mazi Asset Management intends on launching its third hedge fund, which will be driven by artificial intelligence. The fund manager already has two hedge funds, which were launched in 2006 and 2013. For more on how the new hedge fund will work, we are joined by Stephán Engelbrecht, who is a portfolio manager at Mazi Asset Management. Stephán, thank you so much for your time. Let's have a conversation about the rationale behind the fund.
Hi, Sasha. Thank you so much for having me. Basically the idea of the fund is to use the incredible power that artificial intelligence provides, and the analytical power that it utilizes to be able to analyze a vast quantity of data very quickly and very efficiently to make investment decisions.
So on that note, then, I suppose someone, might be thinking, what's the difference between this particular new fund from an algorithmic or quant-based fund?
So the key difference here is that it's an artificial intelligence program that's using it. So what artificial intelligence means is that the machines are basically thinking and attempting to make decisions pretty much in a similar fashion as a human being will. So where in the past quantitative or algorithmic funds would have, I would always call it, it's got a hammer and everything needs to be a nail, which means it's got one strategy and everything needs to fit into that. With an AI-driven fund, we provide it with information and it learns over time and adapts to new market environments and new market strategies to find attractive and high probability investments.
On that note, it's quite great that you mentioned the fact that it will be learning over time. What will be the participation of the human side in terms of, I suppose, managing or looking over the fund? I mean, how will that work?
Oh, it's critical. I always joke here in the office and I say that basically the way I see it, when you walked into an investment management firm in the late 1980s, early 90s, we would have been lucky to see one, maybe two computers in the office. And now you're in a situation where every single analyst has a computer. I believe AI is basically at that same point where it's not a threat to human beings. It's actually just a tool that humans can use to make better investment decisions. It analyzes vast quantities of data that the human provides it, and the human also asks the question, what is the best, it must ask the right question for the AI then to go and analyze. So the human involvement is still critical. We're just using AI as a tool to find the investment probabilities.
What's your sense of the appetite for, the hedge fund industry to be, employing AI and the kind of impact you're seeing on that?
I think it's growing. I've seen about 3 or 4 artificial intelligence-driven funds, whether they're hedge funds or long-only funds, launched. I've seen quite a few asset managers also starting to augment their current investment process to incorporate artificial intelligence. So it's definitely something that you're building towards. Some of them are still very reluctant. They still see it as quantitative analysis, which I will definitely say that it is not. So I think over time it will become more and more used in the South African market. It's already extensively used in the US market. And over time, I believe that the same will happen in South Africa.
Are you getting closer in, I suppose, determining the fee structure for the fund, and when can potential investors expect it to launch?
Yeah, unfortunately, in the hedge fund industry and the asset management industry in general, it is reasonably, there are quite a few red tapes, and rightfully so. We have to protect our investors. So we're still basically going through the regulatory process. We're hoping to launch the fund in the second half of this year. probably then build a bit of a track record, and then really hit the market at the beginning of 2023 to really raise assets aggressively. On the fee structure will probably be similar to slightly lower than you currently see in the hedge fund space, as well as in the comparative long-only space.
Stephán, thank you so much for your time. That is Stephán Engelbrecht talking to us about the new AI-driven hedge fund that Mazi Asset Management is looking to launch. And on that note, one of the key discussions, especially in the hedge fund industry, is about attracting talent, especially as the financial industry starts to employ the fourth industrial revolution or aspects thereof. But that is Stephán talking to us. That's the end of the segment on my side of things. We'll have more news with Nompumelelo at the top of the hour. We'll also be going live to Parliament, where President Cyril Ramaphosa will be answering questions in the National Assembly. We'll have your weather details up next with him. It's a goodbye from me.